everyone, my name is Kristen Herzog and welcome to another edition of So I Married a Mennonite, the Discover Lancaster edition. Today, I'm going to be meeting with Jake Stolzfus. He is one of the coordinators at the ABC Farm and House in Smoketown. And I'm going to be learning some of those nuances about what it is really like to live an Amish lifestyle and what it is like to run that old order Mennonite style in real life.
Yeah, so you're here to see this Amish house, right?
Yeah, one of the things that I'm curious about, Jake, is what is the differences between the old order Amish and the old order Mennonite? Like, how did that switch happen, or how did that break off happen?
Well, now you're going way back into history with a guy named Jacob Alman and Menno Simons. And when they split from the Anabaptist movement, kind of went to different ways, slightly different belief systems. And over the years, it was gradually separated. Now the most conservative Mennonite and most conservative Amish still drive horse and buggies, right? And so they often get confused.
Right, yeah.
But you can tell, if you know what you're looking for, you can say, oh, that's an Amish person. Oh, that's an old order Mennonite, as we call them, person. You can tell it by the way they're dressed, and you can tell it by the buggies they drive predominantly to see them out and about.
Well, what's the difference between the buggy?
Well,
is there something I can look for?
Yeah, if you see a gray and black buggy in Lancaster County, it's going to be an Amish buggy. If you see a pure black buggy, it's going to be a Mennonite buggy.
I think that's fun fact number one.
Yeah, fun fact number one, right? And we'll get into some others as we look at the house as well.
That's awesome. Can we go inside?
Absolutely. Let me take you inside. Follow me. So this house is an old house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can tell from the stonework.
Yeah, absolutely. And this stonework pulled directly from the fields around the property.
Are you serious?
So they literally built it with the materials that they had on hand.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So an old house, one of the things to note about this old house, it has a very unusual door.
A door?
Yeah. You don't think a door is being unusual like a door. What do? You open it, right?
Yeah.
This is an Indian door.
Okay. So what makes it an Indian, or, if we're going to be PC,
Native American door.
American door.
So, here's the thing. If this place were attacked by Indians, then what you would do is you'd pull this out and this would slide straight up.
Are you serious?
And it would protect.
So this is how old this door is?
Well, funny story. The Indian door is actually what's called a misnomer. It means it was misnamed. These doors actually came in the early 1800s. In Lancaster County, there were no Native Americans. And so it got this name. It would really function more like a shutter, not really to protect you from Indians.
All right.
But it got that, fake name in a sense.
That's crazy. I've never seen a door like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Cool.
So let me take you in here. We'll take a look at one of the rooms in this house.
Oh my word. Now, is this how people live today in the Amish community, or?
Oh yeah. You'll see this is typical of many Amish homes. This used to be the only closet they had in the house.
This is a closet?
This is a closet.
Isn't it a little small?
It is.
I can't fit one handbag in here.
Well, what was important to the early Mennonites and the early Amish?
I would guess their Bible, their pewter.
This is a Bible closet. They would have stored
you stick your Bible
in here. You would stick your maybe communion cup. Sometimes it's called a cult corner, is another name for it. But it is literally a German Bible closet. They would have kept their Bible there. Maybe the Ordnung, if they had a paper copy of the Ordnung, would have been in there.
Now, are Amish or Old Order Mennonite houses built with these in them today, or is this old time?
This is old time.
So one of the questions a lot of folks from outside the area ask me is, what is the difference between an Amish woman's dress and an Old Order Mennonite woman's dress? Because to somebody just looking from the outside in, it all kind of looks the same.
Right. So here I have an example of a older Amish dress. Okay. And there's some things you're going to note about it right off the bat. First of all, you'll notice it's a solid color.
Yeah.
So that's with some black underneath. This is typical for the Old Order Amish. In fact, you'll notice there is a small print on here, but it's the same color. So if there's print, you almost don't notice it because it blends in with the color.
What is the difference between an Amish person's dress and an Old Order Mennonite person's dress?
Well, so you'll see older Mennonite running around with dresses that have flowers on, floral designs, maybe stripes, multicolored. And it's one of the things, there's a lot more color in the Old Order Mennonite community than there is in the, now there's color, because there's just solid, it's one color and maybe black. Whereas you get a lot of color in the Old Order Mennonite community.
Okay. So like literally, for those of you who are coming to the area for the first time, when you see a woman walking down the street and you're like, Amish, Old Order Mennonite, the key, according to Jake here, is solid colors on Amish women, printed colors on Old Order Mennonite women. Another question folks from outside the area ask us is, can you tell the difference if it's an Amish woman or an Old Order Mennonite woman by the shape of her prayer veil, or what we call your head covering?
Yeah, so the example that you see here, this is actually an Amish head covering. And one of the reasons you'll know it's Amish is you'll notice that there's a heart for love. A heart shape of the covering, whereas if you see this, you know that's Amish right away.
Okay.
You'll see with the Old Order Mennonites, it's rounded. So it's a whole different shape and a style of covering. And within the Mennonites, when you get less conservative, the covering varies widely. But when you go to the oldest order of Mennonites and the oldest order of Amish, you get these variations. So this here is another thing that you would find in many Pennsylvania German homes. And this is what's called...
What is Pennsylvania German? Because I thought we were talking about Amish.
It's kind of synonymous. It's Pennsylvanians that speak German, and typically they are the Old Order Amish and the Old Order Mennonites.
Got it.
So found in Pennsylvania German homes is this corner cover.
Yeah, you can actually see, like, this is really old. I can see the bubbles in the
glass.
glass,
Right? There were two signature things about this corner cover. What do you notice at the top there?
There's a keystone up there.
Yeah, so Pennsylvania is the Keystone State. So this is a Pennsylvania keystone, as you notice, and it's kind of a signature of being in Pennsylvania. There's one other thing that is notable. What do you notice about the hinges?
They kind of look like a tail of like a mouse or something.
Well, good. These are actually called rat tail hinges.
Oh.
Yeah, look at that.
For me.
Point for Kristen. Rat tail hinges, and they're kind of unique. You don't see many of them around, and they were just kind of a stylistic variation of this. So
it's awesome, and the fact that like they're still being used today, and they're still, you know, utilized in a practical way, and they have that cool architecture. It really is awesome.
I think one of the things to note is not all Order of Mennonite, not all Old Order of Amish homes necessarily have it. This one does because it's so old.
It's awesome. So I noticed as soon as I walked in this room here that all of the chairs are all like hardback chairs. They have the cool like painted design. Is that like a thing in Amish and Mennonite homes?
So this chair is very typical of Lancaster County. Not modern, but especially when you get into like older homes, you'll see a lot of hand-painted furniture like this.
Can I sit in this chair?
Absolutely, still functional.
Oh,
yeah, so it still holds you.
It is not comfortable at all. It is like hardback, hard on the tush.
And they would be concerned very much with function over something that is comfortable.
That makes
sense. They want something functional. They want something that's going to hold up. So this chair is very old and still could seat people today.
So I see that you have animals here at ABC Amish Farm and House. Can you tell me a little bit about why this chicken pen has names on these little doors here?
Yeah, so we raise chickens here as part of the Amish farm, and We'll get into the barn in another. You talked about doing another episode. We'll maybe focus on the barn in the next episode.
That'd be awesome.
Chickens are just one of the many animals that we have on the farm.
Yeah, I saw you have horses over here. You have a buggy ride, which is so cool. I know a lot of our guests out there, they're really interested in this idea of taking an Amish buggy ride. How long are your buggy rides here?
So it varies. We can take you for half an hour, or we can even take you to like a roadside stand, which is about an hour journey. So we have a couple different options.
That's
with our buggy
awesome.
rides. Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, back to the chickens. You'll see that there's names here. Anyone want to guess why we're using these names?
I assume that they're like bunk beds.
Yeah, so this is actually where the chickens will lay their eggs, right?
Okay.
So if you open them, you'll see eggs. Not in here, there's not eggs, but ooh, you hear that? There's eggs.
Action in the hen house.
Yeah, so you'll see this, and I actually can pull the eggs straight out here. Yep. So these
they're
names,
so warm.
I know, because there was a chicken just sitting on them in here.
Really?
There was, yeah, not in there.
He's not still there?
No, they bailed on us right away when I opened the door.
What do you do with the chicken eggs after
Well,
you
we
get
use them. We use them for baked goods, for quiche and stuff like that. So these names are names of the people that actually lived in this property. All the Amish women that have gone before. Many times Amish women don't get recognized as much. We decided to at least name our chickens so their names get immortalized a little bit in the side of a hen house.
Very cool. I wonder if these chickens know their names.
They don't. They don't.
No. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you check out ABC Farm and House at www.abcamish.com. And I'd also like to recognize our sponsor, Discover Lancaster. This is the #1 visitor center in the whole county. And you can check out what they have to offer at www.discoverlancaster.com. Hey, thanks so much for joining us on this edition of So I Married a Mennonite, Discover Lancaster. Join us next time for another fun adventure. Thanks for joining us.